Every flower must grow through dirt, that dark and rocky phase of life that proves there is beauty in every mess.
I made a fair amount, so we should have
For Ari Patrick,
plenty.
she finds beauty within resilience.
The day after the shooting, I had a gentleman call asking for bouquets to take to King Soopers, and you could tell he was young, but he could not get the words out of his mouth. And then I realized, like, maybe grocery stores, A, people might not want to go, and B, they might be low on flowers, so we can do this.
So instead of walking through the potential heartache of stepping into a grocery store, Ari invites all to step onto her lawn and take what you need.
Every florist has leftover product that they're not able to use, so why not give it away?
Because I know I have a 5 here, and I'm like, well,
For this young woman,
it's a really nice offering.
it'll make her friend's day.
Can I choose one?
Yeah.
For this family,
This one.
it'll brighten their home.
I think there's enough if we wanted to each get one.
And for Kristen and her dad, it will allow them to face that dark and rocky phase in life with a little beauty. When words aren't enough, look to the acts of kindness that may have been planted in tragedy, but have seeds of triumph. Jaleesa Rosari, 9 News.
Oh, where are my comments? It's just outstanding, isn't it? Is what the next one is. When you're ready.
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 It's the smallest of radio stations just a few miles from the Oklahoma border.
Absolutely a bunch of birthdays today.
But again, in Gainesville, it is a very big deal.
Celebrating another year of marital bliss.
And this year, after the birthdays and anniversaries,
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Take a deep breath.
it got even bigger.
Hello, KGAF on the air with you. Hi, who's this?
They started calling their listeners, ones who'd sent them heartfelt letters.
It's been a really rough year.
Wow.
Problems like cancer and COVID.
I'm on 12 different medications.
And houses that have burned down.
And I've just been struggling paycheck to paycheck, and I just can't keep up.
Then gave each one of them
How would $1,000 do?
1,000? Oh my God, that's gonna help us.
40 people,
Thank you very much.
$40,000 cash in all.
Thank you so much. Y'all are amazing. You guys are just wonderful. You just don't realize what a wonderful thing you're doing. I've cried the whole show, though.
That last voice was Glenda Hatt,
Thanks. We'll see you in about an hour.
her husband suffering from a brain tumor.
We'll be married 58 years next month.
And that hour later, she was in the parking lot with 39 other lucky people too.
It means a lot, and I hope someday to be able to pay it forward. I really do, because I've been blessed today.
Patty knew blessed as well. She's the one who called about the 12 medications needed to keep her alive. Now, she can afford something else. What do you think of this?
Well, don't you think it's great? What do you think of it?
Well,
It's just outstanding, isn't it?
To know that you're changing people's lives, even just for a very short period of time, is an overwhelming thing, and I'll never get tired of that.
the money comes from anonymous donors who ask each year for the radio station to find the Cook County residents most in need. This year, KGAF found 40 more, who even on a cloudy North Texas day, now have a brighter holiday in hand.
Merry Christmas.
In Gainesville, I'm Kevin Reese.
A lot of emotion there.
Great piece.
Yup. So if we only had those two, I know which one I'd pick, just so you all know. We're not even laughing at me anymore. We're tired.
You know, you're funny. We just can't make it to the unmute button fast enough. That's all.
That was a good save.
Play the next one.
The next one is conversations about race. Ooh, look, she was on. You were on that, Jessica. Well done. Lost the audio when you went full screen.
Some conversations are easier than others,
Fried plantains?
but it's the tough ones that bring people closer.
There you go.
Everyone in the basement of Trinity United Methodist Church is here to talk about the hard stuff.
And one of our hopes and prayers is this experience becomes a movement.
Around each table,
I'm going to get us started.
people with different shades of skin purposefully sit.
Any takeaways from
In room 128 at table 5, there's a Denver police sergeant, a fly fisherman, a minister, a musician, moms and dads.
And we're so lively, that's why they put us back here. But we're just deeply connected.
They were all strangers 5 weeks ago. Asking deep questions changed that.
I'm always on guard when we go to restaurants, especially when they tell me, we're going to take you to this table right here, and it's the table in the back. That burns me up. It burns me up.
We're constantly being re-traumatized, yeah, pretty much. Maybe we're not getting cut as deep, as we used to, but we're still getting those micro cuts, and sometimes those micro cuts, they hurt just as hard as one punch.
The stories pour out.
But he was like, I need to give you a warning because we have been judged for racial profiling.
You know it's not right. You don't say anything. Women, we're used to this. Someone says something inappropriate or, a little sleazy or a little creepy or what have you. You just kind of like, you really don't vocalize, you really don't speak up.
White people have an obligation to speak up in the situations when, you're seeing this stuff. We have to call it out. We have to.
None of these people would have met in their own life bubbles.
It makes no sense.
That's the point of this intentional dialogue.
Being comfortable, that doesn't accomplish anything. It has to get really, really uncomfortable, I think.
This is the last night. Table 5 will sit in this room together.
My fear is just for my grandkids.
If you have to fight every day, even if you win, you're gonna be hurt, even if you win. So I'm scared that we won't fix it, Kathy. That's what I'm scared of. I'm scared it won't stop.
It might be the end of deep conversations in a church basement.
We are going to continue.
But talking about the tough stuff,
We'll do a few.
Created a connection.
Five Alive.
That will last.
Wow, they worked that audio pretty darn hard, I must say. That's one person, one camera, right? Yeah, it is. No, it isn't. Maybe it is.
I mean, it looked like it.
There was lots of people with mics on, but I just was impressed that all had really good audio. Next one is night vision firefighting.
Is everybody ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Colorado wildfires can start quickly, giving Chris Doyle and his team just minutes to fill up this air tanker at the Loveland Airport.
We have in the panel what's called synthetic vision.
This plane is one of a handful in the state designed to fight fires.
When we want to drop the load, we just use the trigger switch down here, and that activates the gate and drops the retardant.
But as the sun sets on the mountains west of Loveland, this air tanker is normally grounded until morning. Tonight, that is not the case. Doyle's team quickly filling him back up to try something they've never done before in Colorado.
Copy that, all comes from east to west, from the saddle down the hill towards the road.
Doyle dropping loads of retardant with pinpoint accuracy. in a mock demonstration of what the future could hold in Colorado.
That was a good drop, right on the money.
Using a strobe on the ground and night vision goggles,
Okay, I'll contact your strobe light.
firefighters can lead Doyle to where he needs to go. Doyle says the night vision goggles allow him to see just as well at night as he can during the day.
A lot of stuff with light sources actually appear a lot easier to spot during the night with the goggles that you wouldn't see during the day. So that's a big plus when we're hunting out fire.
And while this is just a demonstration, Co-Fire Aviation hopes to one day make this reality in Colorado.
You are loud and clear.
In Loveland,
Affirm, copy that.
Evan Krugel, Fox 31.
Break bread.
Break bread.
Break bread, break borders is next.
Aaron's ready.
All right. You guys roll it?
No.
Roll it. On.
Yeah, almond cookie.
As sweet as her almond cookie,
It's also delicious. You can try one.
Jamila has been cooking dinner for 150 people since 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, this is for a refugee coming from Afghanistan.
She's making a home-cooked Afghan meal to welcome families going through something similar to hers.
We are from Afghanistan.
3 years ago, Jamila and her sister Sharifa escaped the Taliban and fled to the U.S. with their kids.
It's so hard to come here. Yeah, but we are happy here right now. Yeah, it's so good.
What they're doing now, working to provide for their family, is not something they could have done before. Already cooks with incredible family recipes, they learned how to run a catering business through their company, Break Bread, Break Borders.
A lot of times that people think we're just, cooking in the kitchen, but we're starting a revolution.
Jinya Huang is the founder.
Food is such a wonderful universal language, and it's an incredible equalizer.
Break Bread, Break Borders is a culinary workforce training program for women from war-torn countries.
Every time the ladies cook, my mom's spirit comes to life.
All this inspired by her late mom, Margaret Huang.
We lost her during the holidays, so it's always a little hard to talk about.
She was a Chinese refugee who came to Dallas and became a restaurant owner, but never forgot her past.
She was very mindful about training other immigrants, refugees, and migrants to come and work in our kitchen, and she would train them with job skills and send them on to bigger, better opportunities.
The beauty in this kitchen,
it reminds you of home,
is an aromatic love letter to her mom.
That's where you belong.
Breaking bread with neighbors.
Also delicious.
While breaking down borders. In Dallas, I'm Tiffany Liu.
That's great. Nice one to watch at dinner hour, huh?
Yeah. We have those same pots at our house, the handle, those round circle handles. They're from my wife's family.
Love it.
I wish we had more closes. It seems like people are just stopping.
Yeah, you're right.
I really.
Romance me with an open and a close,
Amen. Amen. A job that pays in gratitude is the next one. Suck me in and then make me feel, accomplished at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Kenner Galdamez Sosa has a lot on his to-do list.
I know, I don't know where I'll find the time.
The 16-year-old isn't spending his summer bagging groceries, but rather something else. Something that may not earn him any cash,
No paycheck.
no benefits, or
Gas money.
but gets him a ton of respect.
Well, it started mid-June when my brothers were having COVID-like symptoms.
Kenner wanted to get his brothers at-home test kits, but the $25 price tag was just too much.
So I did some research and I found that Colorado has a stockpile of these test kits. And I found out that I could order. I contacted them, placed an order, and then a few days later, like 1,200 test kits arrived.
At first, Kenner gave his leftovers to his church community, but still had a stockpile.
So I started like posting that I had these extra test kits, and it just grew from there.
Every day, Kenner clocks himself in, prepares dozens of orders, and gets to work, delivering them within 35 miles of Erie, free of charge.
I thought my service would, like my program, it would like come to an end in just a few weeks, because I was like, oh, the pandemic is gonna get better, everything's gonna come to an end. But no, like on the other hand, like I've gotten more orders every day.
To date, Kenner says he's distributed over 9,000 test kits to more than 620 families, including to neighbor Sue Thompson.
It's so cool. It's really important for the community to have something like this, and just know that you have tests in your house and you can test yourself and be safe for everybody around you.
With each kit delivered, Kenner knows another request is on the way. A never-ending to-do list.
Thank you.
From a job that pays in gratitude. Jaleesa Arizari, 9 News.
Nice line.
Yeah. I'm exhausted looking at they got to do all this stuff. Oh my gosh. Right?
Oh yeah.
We'll get there.
This is one of those throw all the food in the fish tank and we all just take nibbles at it. It'll be gone before we know it.
Yeah. No, I'm just talking about these stories, man. It's so much work.
Yeah. When you think one person is doing it all.
Right.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying now. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All right. Healing through music.
This is a different person doing the same story. Oh, maybe not. No audio. No.
In times like this, there are many ways.
I brought blue ribbons because to me it's just leaving a memory of the people who died.
This is Evan
Miriam
Kruger.
Paisner grieving along with hundreds of others at a fence now filled with
Do you
painful
see it
memories.
again, or you remember this one?
I don't remember it very well.
Keep rolling.
Maybe
Memories.
Everything hits home. It's just like your heart's been torn out.
It's been 3 days since 10 people were killed here. The scene remains tough to visit.
Yeah.
It's even more difficult
Okay, I remember it
for
now.
those who were here.
When the guy was telling me to run, of course I knew.
I love this story.
Hey guys.
You need to scroll through it, or
Yeah.
Quick question.
Yes.
What spreadsheet are you guys using?
General Hard News SVP 40. I think that's that's the one that.
That's what I'm using.
Okay, I don't have break bread, break borders on here.
that's weird.
General Hard SVP 40, correct?
Mm-hmm. Should be number 6 on the 6th line.
Okay, operator error. Okay, I'll paste my notes in here. Wait, why is it moving?
We can play this again because I remember what I did and didn't like about it, but I want to see it again. There was some stuff about it I didn't like.
All right, you want to start over, or you want to just play from there? Starting over.
Whatever.
Go ahead. Just play it.
Just roll it. Sorry.
Times like this, there are many ways to grieve.
I brought blue ribbons because to me it's just leaving a memory of the people who died.
Miriam Paisner grieving along with hundreds of others at a fence now filled with painful memories.
Everything hits home. It's just like your heart's been torn out.
It's been 3 days since 10 people were killed here. The scene remains tough to visit.
Yeah.
It's even more difficult for those who were here.
When the guy was telling me to run, of course, I knew something was happening.
Louis Saxton was buying fruit and juice when he heard the shots.
I had one goal, and that was to get out as fast as I could. I had just spent so much time, like, just breaking down in my room. And I knew I needed to do something.
Saxton is a musician and decided to return to the scene, busting out a stool and his cello and starting to play. His music filling this dark place with beauty. The bittersweet melody allowing people to process and grieve.
It's very, very hard not to join them. But that's the thing about music for me, is that it's always been my safe space. Music is one of those really rare universal languages. And I feel like it's a way to communicate to people feelings rather than words.
Many stop for a moment, others for minutes at a time.
It's good for the soul, good for the heart.
Saxton has played here every day this week.
He plans on playing for 10 straight days to honor the 10 victims.
Just doing what I can to help people grieve.
In Boulder, Evan Krugel, Fox 31.
That stand-up was kind of unnecessary, you know?
You know, and the other thing I just don't like about it is he's got the guy sitting down, the music is going, he cuts to the stool. I think it's really jarring at that point. That part of it I really didn't like. I love the story, I love the concept. I just think it could have been done stronger.
Even if you had the music subtle underneath everything in the beginning, you know?
Right, right. He stops it, and then he goes to the guy on the stool, and then he starts it again. And yeah, I'm not sure the lady in the beginning was necessary either. And you're right, unless the music was subtle in the beginning, and then you kind of wonder where it comes from, and it weaves him in, that would have been cool. You're right.
The next one is tooting his horn, and if there's a trumpet in it, then I'm an automatic. I think it should automatically win, but that's just.
Of course you do. Of course you do. We all know you. We're a marching band.
Right. I always wanted to be a marching band.
How are you? He said.
The house in Frisco is easy to find.
He asked you how you are.
It's the only one celebrating a 100th birthday.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Bernie Suter's birthday.
What's it like being 100 years old?
100?
Yes, you're 100. What is it like? You said I'm an old
fart.
But Bernie Suter is so much more than that. A World War II veteran, a machine gun-toting soldier his buddies called Smiley, who stormed Utah Beach on D-Day and helped liberate a concentration camp near the Czechoslovakian border.
Do you remember where you went to fight World War II?
The problem, at 100.
Did you land on a beach?
Yeah.
In Normandy?
Bernie's memories.
Utah?
Are beginning to fade.
Utah Beach.
Yeah. I tell people who want to talk to him that I'm his memory now. Sorry.
Sandy Suter Richards is his only child.
He's been my hero for a long time, and because I've known his story for a long time. I just think somebody has to keep the story going.
And on a Saturday morning,
That is awesome.
reinforcements arrived
Isn't that cool?
to help her keep telling that story.
Ah, thank you, Cheryl.
A 100-car parade, some vintage, some World War II, and even a golf cart or two. Outside Saddlebrook Memory Care in Frisco, where Bernie lives.
Love you, Pop.
Even a Cessna overhead,
Oh, the plane up there, Bernie, look.
towing a Happy Birthday Bernie banner.
He's told me many, many stories.
And for a devoted daughter,
he's trying to keep as much of his memory alive as possible.
a captive audience to keep telling all those stories to anyone who'd listen.
I am just extremely proud of him, even though, you know, he's not always in the moment anymore, but I am, and our family is. we need to pass that along to our children, what these people were able to do to save our freedoms that we have today. Bernie, I don't know you, but I wish I did.
And back at home in a basket in her backyard.
To Bernie, happy 100th birthday.
More evidence for a daughter that Bernie's stories are still very much alive.
How cool is this?
Hundreds of cards for his 100th birthday from all over the world.
Thank you for your service and protecting our country.
The message in all this from a daughter is that we all eventually become the keepers of our parents' memories. But when it comes to her dad, Bernie Suter,
I have to say, I thought I was the only one tooting the horn for a long time.
she learned on a sunny Saturday morning in Frisco that she'll
Nice
never
shot.
be tooting that horn alone.
Now I see there are a lot of others out there.
In Frisco, I'm Kevin Mace.
No trumpet.
Yeah, but she said it.
Yeah. All right.
That's the first sign.
So is there one more?
Yeah.
Called General Hard News. There's no name for it. Okay.
I'm Spectrum One's Jonathan Gregg in Estill County. It's just a couple miles outside of Irvine. It's another one of those small Kentucky communities between 1,000 and 2,000 residents dealing with severe and historic flooding. The Kentucky River, nowhere near here, more than a mile away. This is all floodwaters. And today I visited several homes that are still under several feet of water. The water came up faster and higher than anyone expected.
Even the stuff I drug out yesterday was soaked.
Now it's taking its time going down.
Yes, my house and furniture inside is a complete loss.
A few miles from Irvine, Paul and his son are safe.
You know, you don't think this would happen, you know, you don't.
But past that.
Don't think it had grown up as fast, but it did.
Yeah. The Kentucky River is nowhere near their Estill County home.
And I put a lot of work in it. I just remodeled my kitchen a little over 2 weeks ago.
But historic flooding has transformed the landscape.
A lot of flooded homes here, and people probably needing clothes, probably food, water.
A few extra feet kept Regina Puckett dry.
Almost to my house.
Unlike her neighbors who are soaking in a slow current.
The drainage just come through it and got us flooded out.
Though everyone on the block is without power.
We're out.
We're out.
Countless homes are cut off from the nearest town.
It's impossible to get to town. You can't.
About a mile.
Others can only be reached.
Can't get nothing in, so we're gonna take the kayak across.
By boat. And if that's what it's going to take, so be it.
Give us some food and some water.
Because as fast as the water came up, neighbors jumped into action.
Friends of ours and some strangers over there too.
So even for those homes that don't have water in it, many are without power on Wednesday. So you see a very difficult situation for hundreds, if not thousands of people in and around Estill County. That's the latest from here. I'm Jonathan Gregg reporting for Spectrum News.
Yeah, that's a motion tracking camera, I think. You know what I mean? Like, he moves right.
Really? You
I
think it's on his arm or something?
No, it's on a tripod, but it's got, you know how it tracks your face? I think when he moves a little to the right.
Yeah, I've got a gimbal that I use. I can even, oh, you guys can't see me.
Better not let NBC find out about those.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like there's a photog or a photojournalist there with me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. They just shot his live shot. He must have shot the whole piece.
Yeah,
I like it.
There was a second video in there. Do we need to watch that one too?
What's that?
There was a second video in the that last one.
Oh, there was? I don't know.
What's the number on them?
Like there's this one on the right.
That's
They're
not.
only
That's
supposed
not
to put in, they're only supposed to submit one per entry. So I'm not sure what happened there.
It looks like he thinks the category is about the solo video photojournalist. That the category isn't general news, but he thinks the category is him.
I see.
Those reporters.
Yeah.
He got
those one-man bands.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's up to you guys if you want to watch it. It probably was not. I don't know if that's the one that was judged in the first round or not. I can't tell you. We just assumed that was only one entry. So how long is it, Jessica?
It's 1 minute and 50 seconds.
Well, I'm not sure.
Does it disqualify him if he's got two in there and we can't decide which one he submitted? Or
yeah, that's a very good question.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to watch two of his pieces and decide which one is better, and we're going to hold up against the others.
Yeah, but
that doesn't seem right.
Right. So I'm not sure. Let me.
The last time it happened, there was a name. At least we could pick the name, that was submitted.
Yeah, looks like it's Jonathan Gregg.
What's it called, Bob?
I'm trying to.
Well, is that story? Do we like the one we just saw? Is it in the running?
I like it. It's a regular old story. He did a good job. I like his delivery, I like his voice, good editing, transitions. It's got a lot going on.
Well, why don't we see what our ranking is with him in it, and then if he even makes the top 3 or whatever it is, and then see if we can bother about it.
Good call. Yeah, I have some. I like Just Outstanding, which is the money one. And I like Tootin' His Horn, which is the 100-year-old man. And I like A Job That Pays in Gratitude, which is the kid with the COVID test.
I haven't ranked these, but I like the Afghan story, the break borders.
I liked all the shooting in that. I just didn't like the ending.
Yeah.
I like everything else about it.
Let's see. And the radio station one was cool.
Yeah, that one was great.
What's the category? Is it feature?
General Hard.
General Hard. Okay.
Solo journalist. They did it all.
But it's General Hard?
Mm-hmm.
Because I really like the radio station, but that's not hard, right?
Well, none of them are really hard except for the last one. I mean,
yeah,
they made it in the category. I like the radio station a lot.
Yeah, I did too, but it's not really General Hard. The most newsy one that seems like General Hard is the last one we saw. Everything else is,
Look at the criteria again.
The race one too is hard. Kind of.
Yeah.
So I like Breaking Bread. Break bread, break borders.
I do too. I just didn't like the end, but I like
I
it.
do like the old guy that said he's an old fart, because we say that in like, I don't know.
100-year-old guy.
Yeah. And I
Just
like
kidding.
I actually like the first piece, Seeds of Triumph.
Oh yeah, that was with the real poetic reporter. I forget.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at this, it says not soft or humorous, which throws out most of these stories. The radio state, well, I guess I don't know how you define that. Touching versus soft or humorous is such a fine line.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? First place, radio station.
Breaking Bread.
Breaking Bread. I like Breaking Bread a lot. I like the radio station.
Yeah,
His horn. I like the old man too.
Yeah. I guess those would be our 3, kind of, huh?
Yeah, radio station, old man, and I still like this last one we just watched. It's a lot of effort. That guy had to run all over the place and go in the water. And
Yeah, that guy too, at putting yourself in the role
Right.
of MMJ, he did do a lot.
Yeah.
So what are we calling the last one, Bob? General hard news?
That's a good question.
Sounds like we're talking about a military. It's a story about a military man.
It's his name, General Hard News.
Hard news. Right.
General Hard Hat.
I'm going to work for a company called Standard General.
There you go.
Okay, so we all seem to like radio station. Maybe that's one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Breaking Bread, maybe 2 or 3, depending on what we do with the General.
I like Break Bread for 2.
Yeah, I think so too. Yep.
Wait, which one was number 1?
The radio,
radio
station.
station.
Just outstanding, isn't it?
Okay.
Number 3.
Thank you.
So for me, my pitch is I agree with everyone on the radio one. If it looks like Tootin' His Horn is not going to make it, and if I compare that to Breaking Bread, I like Tootin' His Horn. I just felt like there was more emotion. It wasn't in a room. It was out and about.
Totally agree.
It was at their house. It was swinging. That was a long day. A lot of sound. Really good weaving of sound. I just appeal that Tootin' His Horn, get back in the race here.
Totally agree. Breaking Bread is very well shot, very well done. One location, great repetitive action with the opportunity to shoot it like that. Not as much of a challenge. And what about the conversations about race with all those people in the room? Does anybody have any feelings about that?
I think it's a good story. I feel it's B-roll poor.
Very much.
That's tough. It's just lacking B-roll.
They did keep it moving, but it wasn't moving fast enough for me. I know that content, it wasn't, I don't know how to explain it, but it wasn't as romance to me. And I don't know.
So what if we give Breaking Bread an honorable mention? And Tooting His Horn gets in there. What about The Job That Pays in Gratitude? Do we like the kid with the COVID test? That's a lot like Breaking Bread, one location.
That was shot nice, yeah.
But he did the setup interview, and then he did the car interview.
The dissolve walking maneuver thing that
yeah. And he
Joey
got the kid to lots of places.
Mm-hmm. But I think that the story itself wasn't as powerful as like it was shot well and everything, but maybe the story wasn't as powerful as Breaking Bread or Tootin' His Own Horn.
I still say, because what did we decide for number 1? The radio station?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like Break Bread next. That's my vote. There's a couple of reveals. You're touching on a story that's been in national news.
And it's shot pretty. But I do think that, because I had that number 2 as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I do, after you guys were talking about that Tootin' His Own Horn, there was a lot of work. Yeah, that was a lot of work.
Long day.
Yeah.
Just outstanding. Tooting His Horn, Breaking Bread. That's my vote.
Yeah. Yes.
I also like General Hard News.
Okay, let's stick with what we have. We know number 1 is the radio station. So we need to narrow down 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Well, Al, your vote for 2 and 3? Go.
2 is Tootin' His Own Horn, and 3 is Breaking Bread.
Sharon?
I agree. Tootin' His Own Horn needs to be second. It was a lot of work. I agree with that.
And Brad?
Yeah, I agree with you guys 1 and 2. I guess I just like that reporter in the middle of nowhere doing the water stories more than
General Hard News, the end one.
More than Breaking Bread, but
I do too.
They're both really
I do too.
good.
I think Breaking Bread is good honorable mention. That I think when we're looking at a solo journalist having to work that hard, that's a much harder place to be.
I just don't feel like his story was as artfully told as Breaking Bread. But
Looks like we have
Karen is honestly good either way. Breaking Bread is very beautiful.
Well, there's pretty strong opinion on Breaking Bread, so I concede it's okay. It's really good. So that would be like number 3. Is that what you guys are thinking? Maybe
Yeah.
the flood one would be honorable mention.
Are there 3 places here, Bob?
Sorry, say it again.
Three places.
1, 2, 3 honorable, so 4.
Okay.
So you can pick 4. So
Let's encourage the young people out there killing themselves.
Literally.
So I'm sorry, I got distracted. Did you decide on a second?
Yeah.
Which is what?
Putting his own horn.
Decided on Toot His Horn.
Okay, and then what?
And then Breaking Bread, right?
Break bread, break barriers.
All right, and then you wanted honorable mention general hard news. Is that what you're doing?
I might be the only one saying that. I don't know.
Honorable mention for the breaking news guy.